Good afternoon students, I am Chitra Silvania welcoming you to online class today. In previous class, we discussed about reproduction in organisms in which we have completed sexual and asexual reproduction. Today, we start with second chapter, human reproduction. Human reproduction gives you an awareness towards healthy reproductive life in adolescence. The main functions of reproductive system is to produce gametes, transport the gametes, giving food to developing offerings and to produce hormones. There are some major events in reproductive life of human beings which starts from gametogenesis and ends in parturition. First is gametogenesis. Production of gametes is called as gametogenesis. The sperms are transported to female reproductive tract is insemination. The fusion of male and female gamete to produce diploid zygote is fertilization. The zygote divided into multicellular blastocyst is cleavage. Attachment of blastocyst is called implantation. And formation of placenta between the fetus and mother is called as placentation. The blastocyst changed into three germ layer gastrula is gastrulation, and formation of organs and organ system is called organogenesis. Finally, expulsion of fetus is called parturition. These functions are carried out by primary and secondary reproductive organs. Next, we move on to the male reproductive system, which comprises of pair of testes, accessory glands, ducts, and external genitalia. Testes are the primary male sex organs. They are paired structures lying in the scrotum. A scrotum is a sac of skin that hangs outside the abdominal cavity. Since viable sperms cannot be produced at normal body temperature, the scrotum is placed outside the abdominal cavity to provide a temperature 2 to 3 degrees lower than the normal internal body temperature. Thus, scrotum acts as thermoregulator. Each testis is covered by tunica albuginea and is divided into many lobules which contains seminiferous tubules. These seminiferous tubules has two types of cells. One is serotolith cell, other one is spermatogonic cell. Serotolith cell provide nourishment to the sperms and also secrete a hormone called inhibin. Spermatogonic cells differentiate to produce spermatozoa. Leydig cell secretes an hormone called testosterone which initiates the process of spermatogenesis. The accessory ducts associated with male reproductive system includes retitestis, vas efferentia, epididymis and vas deferens. The sperm leaves the retitestis and enter into the epididymis through vas efferentia. The epididymis is a single coil structure which temporarily stores the spermatozoa. The epididymis leads to vas deferens and it leads to ejaculatory duct and finally it opens into urethra. The accessory glands of reproductive system include paired seminal vesicles and bulbourethral gland, also called as Cowper's gland, and a single prostate gland. The seminal vesicle secretes a fluid called seminal plasma or semen. A semen is a milky white fluid which contains sperms. Next, we look into the female reproductive system, which is far more complex than the male reproductive system. The female reproductive system consists of pair of ovaries along with a pair of oviducts, uterus, cervix, vagina, and the external genitalia. Ovaries. Ovaries are the primary female organ that produce the female gamete ovum. So, the ovaries are located on each side of the lower abdomen. The ovary is elliptical in structure, about 2 to 4 cm long, and is covered by germinal epithelium which encloses the ovarian stroma. The fallopian tube, uterus and the vagina constitute the female accessory organs. The proximal part of the fallopian tube bears a funnel-shaped structure called infundibulum. The edges of the infundibulum have many finger-like projections called fimbriae, which helps in the collection of ovum after ovulation. The last part of the oviduct is the isthmus, which connecting the ampulla and the infundibulum to the uterus. The uterus is a hollow, thick-walled, muscular, highly vascular, and inverted, pear-shaped structure lying in the pelvic cavity between the urinary bladder and the rectum. The uterus opens into vagina through a narrow cervix. The wall of the uterus has three layers of tissues. The outermost layer is the perimetrium, middle muscular layer is called myometrium, and the inner glandular layer is called endometrium. A vagina is a large fibromuscular tube that extends from cervix to the exterior. If you see the external genitalia, it comprises of labia majora, labia minora, hymen, and clitoris. The glands that is seen in the female reproductive system is the Bartholin's gland, which is homologous to the bulbourethral gland of the male, which secretes mucus to lubricate the vagina. And the Skin's gland, they also secrete the lubricating fluid, which are homologous to the prostate gland of male. The main function of female reproductive system is to nurture the developing offerings. Mammary glands play a very important role in female reproductive system. The mammary glands are modified sweat glands present in both sexes. It is rudimentary in the males and functional in the females. Internally, each mammary gland consists of 2 to 25 lobes separated by fat and connective tissues. Each lobe is made up of lobules which contain alveoli. Cells of alveoli secrete milk. The alveoli opens into the mammary tubule. These tubules join to form the mammary duct. Several mammary ducts join to form mammary ampulla, which is connected to the lactiferous duct. Each lactiferous duct expands to form lactiferous sinus, which serve as a reservoir of milk. Students, I hope you have a clear understanding in major events of reproductive system, male reproductive system, and female reproductive system. If you have any doubts, feel free to ask me, and I sent you the assignment. Complete it and submit. Thank you.